Welcome back to my channel. This is Angelo Christmas and me documenting my journey to $20,000 per month as a high ticket closer. So in today's video, I have a very special video that I'm excited to make here, and it's going to be me talking about my biggest month in sales since I started sales. And that is me making $6,000 in commissions, and the month is not even over. And not only did I hit my first 5K a month as a closer, but I also hit my first 6K a month in the same month, which was October today. Now, very excited for that milestone for me. Obviously, my goal is to get to $10,000 and $20,000, but the growth I've already seen has been tremendous. And it's in the past I would always overlook something like this. I would think, wow, that's still a long way to go to 20. I wouldn't be proud. I wouldn't be grateful. But I've just learned to be extremely grateful for all the results I have in my life, not just the good, but also the bad things as well. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I was able to do that, and also share a call that I closed of helping someone overcome their fear objection. And yeah, I'm excited to dive in. So without any further ado, let's dig into the numbers and see how exactly I made $6,000 in a month as a South African kid. So let's take a look. So on my main offer that I'm on, I took 40 calls in total, right? I spoke to 40 people, I closed 18 deals, and I generated $54,000 in cash for the company, and my commission was $5,400. Now, I also started another offer, which I'm going to share a call from there in a moment now. As you can see on my second offer, I took about 17 calls. And the reason I started that other offer is because the call volume here dropped significantly. So as you can see, I was getting quite a lot of deals in, but then like halfway through the month, the call volume basically died on this offer. So then I'm like, okay, let me get on another offer and try get some more volume in to see how much I can actually push it before the month ends. And I did that, got on a good offer, started a bit slow, to be honest. Like I took 17 calls, I only closed 2 deals, and both of those were very not ideal payment plans, so not much cash collected upfront, but that added an additional $600 in commission from that offer. So if we add that together with this, that puts me at $6,000 in commission, which in my currency is over 100,000 Rand that I made in a month. And the month's not even over. It's only the 28th of October now. I still have more calls booked, and there's no reason I couldn't even get this. There's no reason I can't get this to like 7, 8, possibly even 10K this month, but volume has died down, so we're going to just see how far I can push it for this month. However, one thing I also just wanted to reflect on before we dive into the call review that I'm going to share now is coming into this new offer. Because I've been doing so great on this offer, like you can see my close rate's almost at 50%, and I sort of had a lot of confidence, had a lot of conviction, even getting on that offer. The sales manager probably knew that as well. He did know that because he hired me without even doing an actual interview, and I just got hired and I started on the team, and it was the quickest onboarding process ever, because I was given the go ahead on Friday to start, and I was supposed to start taking calls on Monday, and the onboarding process was quite long. It took like 3 days, and before I even finished the onboarding process, I started taking calls on Sunday, because the other closer they had on the team, he left, and they asked me if I was able to take the calls he wasn't able to take anymore. So I didn't hesitate. I said yes, I took them, and it was basically a very overwhelming period for me because I'm balancing this offer. I started the other offer, barely got through onboarding, and I'm already taking calls. So what I'm sharing though about starting this offer, I did have a lot of doubts in my mind. First of all, I had very high expectations. I expected to come in, start closing deals from the first day, and dominate over there. However, that didn't happen. I started taking calls, and I never really closed any until my 10th call, 11th call, I would say. The one I'm going to share now is my first call. So that kind of took a hit at my confidence, which it shouldn't have. I shouldn't have let it do that. But because I had that expectation I would come in and dominate, and that didn't happen, I allowed my thoughts to get the better of me, and that put me in a very negative state of mind, and that was also relating to my calls, and it was hindering my performance. But reflecting on the situation and also having a one-on-one session with my mentor, Daniel Smith, he just helped me realize that there's no point in me worrying about it. And when I was digging a layer deeper, the biggest reason I was in a negative state of mind because I was worried that if I don't hit the required amount of calls and I don't close the required amount of calls, I was worried that I won't make it on that offer and they might, let me go. And that was the biggest thing causing me to have that sort of fear of, hey, I need to close this deal, or having me in sort of like that scarcity mindset. And once I realized, and once Dan helped me see that there's no point worrying about that, and even if it does happen, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that I'm not good enough. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad closer, and it doesn't mean I can't find a better offer and make even more money on that offer. It just means that it wasn't aligned with me, and there's always lessons to be learned. So like once I was able to reframe myself on that sort of block, I would say, it helped me be a lot more detached on those calls, and it helped me obviously perform a lot better. So yeah, 17 calls taken so far, closed 2 deals. I got a couple deposits too that should be closing this week, so hopefully I can get those across the line to try get as much comms in as I can before this month end. So other than that, it's been a crazy month for me, because like even just on this offer, I hit a big high for me, like over $5,000 in commissions. As a close is my biggest month, but I never stopped there. I could have just stayed comfortable, celebrated about this, went to party, went to celebrate, but instead I'm like, no, fuck that. Calls are low here. Let me get on another offer. Let me fucking, make myself feel like I'm taking on too much. Let me do what it takes to, get to where I want to be as quick as I can, and that's why I went on the next offer. So yeah, aside from that, that's the update so far in terms of my journey. $6,000 in commissions at the moment as of October. Next video I'll give a better update on the channel of how I ended the month, because there is about 4 more days left, including today. And yeah, aside from that, let's get into the call. So I'm going to start the call from objections so that we see what his objections were, and see how I was able to overcome those and close him. Let me just change this. Okay, let's get to it. What questions do you have for me around the process program? Anything that you would like to know aside from what I've shared with you?
Honestly, I think we covered most of them. Like I said, like I know earlier you mentioned that like a payment thing, like there's potential to split that up between a few months, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we could look at doing that for sure. I just meant more so before we look at like investment, because this is directly after the pitch. I broke down everything for him. I asked him if the program makes sense. Now I'm just sort of seeing like, what concerns he might have before we go into trying to take payment. That's the last thing I'm worried about, just in terms of the process and everything. Does everything make sense on your end, or anything you're not clear on?
Oh yeah, no, the whole process makes sense. Yes.
Okay, cool. Is it something I guess you see yourself doing? What do you say?
Yeah, like I said, the only thing is there is potential that like some weeks I'm not going to be able to put in all those hours. Like also, well, here we get a bit more snow in the winter. There's already some weeks where I'm working 78 hours a week.
Yeah, no, that's fine, man. I mean, we have some people working 2 full-time jobs that still come in, right? It's not like we expect you to leave a job and just focus on this, right? That's the reason you coming into this, is so you can get to that stage, right? But obviously from now till there, obviously you got to make do with what you can do. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, no, 100%.
I guess the biggest thing for me then, Devon, like, do you actually feel like with what I walk you through about the process, the program, the support, and as long as you put the work in, do you? At this point, he asked about payment plans. I could have obviously just offered them to him and see if he closes, but I first just wanted to get his tie down and his commitment to me that he feels like this can work. Because there's no point in me offering payment plans if he doesn't even feel like it can work for him. So this is what I'm getting now. Just getting buy-in from him that the program can actually help him get to where you want to be, and make sure he does actually believe that. Do you truly feel like this can get you to where you want to be? Because that's the biggest thing I care about.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Okay, you think so? You don't seem very, very certain, but I mean, it's okay. It's something new. But is there any reason in the world you feel like, with our guidance, our support, us being there with you every step of the way, and if you show up and put the work in, is there any reason in the world you feel like this wouldn't get you to where you want to be if that were all in place?
No, not with everything that we've talked about today.
Okay, awesome. And I guess then, what makes you confident that this can actually help you get where you want to be then? Like, why do you feel like this can help? So there, he didn't give me a certain answer. He was like, I think it can. So then I'm like, making it sound stupid to him. Like, is there any reason you feel like it wouldn't help you get to where you want to be? Like, if you do it, then obviously he's gonna say no, because obviously he's here for a reason. He knows it can work. Now I'm getting him to justify why he feels like it's gonna help him.
Well, essentially from the things that you showed me in the success story, or like those screenshots that you showed me about other students, and the first 6-month guarantee that otherwise your money back. Like, I guess that kind of makes it all a little bit easier to process, and the
Yeah, okay.
one-on-one
I mean,
support and stuff like that.
okay, awesome. That's good because that's the biggest thing I care about. Right? Just seeing, making sure because I know it can help you, right? But it's
Right.
most important for you to know too because it's your journey. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, other thing, the last question I have for you then, Devon. Would you say, are you ready to get started then?
I think so. Would I be able to send you an email tomorrow, or like sleep on this for one more night, knowing everything? Or like, obviously we talked about.
Send me an email, sleep on it, think on it for another day. Fuck that, boy. You can't do none of that shit. The funny thing with this guy is that he actually was in contact with the team, like with the offer I'm on, like a year ago. But then he never actually continued having a sales call because he got like scared and he backed out. Now he's here second time round. So he's literally giving more objections as to why he needs to put even more time and distance between him getting to where he wants to be, right? Now I'm just gonna help him make sense to him that that's not serving him, and he needs to start making different decisions if he actually does want to level up.
A lot here in this meeting. The first meeting in the spring was not very long. Like I said, I kind of got scared pretty quick. But would I be able to send you an email tomorrow if I sleep on it and think about this a little bit longer, or are you kind of looking for an answer now?
I mean, it doesn't matter what I want, right? But let me ask you this, Devon. Like, how long have you been thinking about this?
A long time.
A long time, right? So like, what's coming up for you that makes you want to put even more time and distance between you, actually making this change in your life, just to see if I can help?
Yeah, I guess that's true. There really is no reason to wait any longer.
I mean, there could be. Like, I don't know what's in your mind. So I'm just asking, like, what's coming up for you? Like, is it just maybe a concern around the investment? You're not sure if we can help you? Like, what's coming up for you? What's going through your mind?
Just again, like I mentioned this earlier, the fear of failure. A lot earlier in the call, we talked about this.
Okay,
yeah.
I hear you, and that's perfectly fine. Man. Like, I guess now we understand the real concern, which is fear. Fear held him back the last time when he booked the call and he didn't end up attending the call. Fear held him back for the past year of not taking action on something. And I did do a good job in discovery, helping him see that fear is the reason he's not where he wants to be. And he did give me commitment that he was ready to overcome the fear. But as you can see, evidently I didn't do a good enough job to remove all the fear. Now it obviously came back into the picture. Now it's time for me to actually handle the fear and help him overcome that so he can actually get to the outcomes he wants in his life. Just for my own clarity, like, let's say you knew with 100% certainty if you did this you wouldn't fail. Would you want to get started?
Yes.
Okay. And when it comes to like the investment side of things, is it a case that you do have that full amount, maybe you're just not feeling like, you're feeling that uncertainty? Or is it a case that you don't have that amount and we got to possibly look at breaking it down for you?
Yeah, the second option about potentially breaking that down. Like,
okay.
I guess I do have the funds. Just that's a lot of money for 1 month,
Okay. So now I'll just double check that it's only fear. I'd ask him, like, if he didn't have any fear, would he do this? Yes. Do you have the funds to do it? Yes. Okay. So now I know that the only objection is fear. And once I solve that, I can actually close him. So now I'm going to solve the fear. You do have that full amount available, but you're just not sure if you want to spend all of it at once. Then,
yeah. Even if you convert it, I still.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, like I said, you don't have to pay it all up front. Like, money's the easiest thing to figure out, right? Because I know that once you overcome this step, you're going to make that back, either way, right? But the first thing we got to overcome together is obviously that fear of, failure, right? Because we could obviously just have sent you a link, let you sign up and join the program without having this conversation, right? But the main reason we have these conversations is so that we know that the people we do bring in are actually going to be committed and sharp and put the work in, right? So just like you've seen all those other successful people who have showed you already, but like they also felt like how you're feeling, right? So it's not like you're the odd one out, right? Because it's very normal. But the only difference is at this point he is a very young guy. He's only 21. So I'm trying to like relate to him as best as I can, help him see that it's normal to feel this way. And all the other people that he's seen succeed once also felt that way. So help him realize that, it's not wrong for him to feel this, but also I'm going to show him that it's not serving him if he's going to use that as a reason to not get started. That they were willing to push through that fear, right? And that's what it takes to actually get where you want to be, right? Because you have been holding on to this fear for like almost a year now, Devon, right? Because like if you continue holding on to the fear, Devon, like where do you feel like that's gonna lead you though? Like if nothing changes.
Well, it's not gonna put me behind, but it's not gonna put me any further ahead in life than where I am today, and like, it's not gonna fast track what I foresee my end goal as being, and all these things that we talked about for the future and what I can provide for my girlfriend and potentially my kids and stuff like that. Like it only makes that longer. Exactly,
man. Because it's always about thinking ahead, right? So like if I were to help you come up with a way where we can actually break down the payments to make it a bit more manageable for you, would you say that would make it easier for you to get started today then?
I would say yeah.
Okay, you would say, or you're not sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, cool. So just so I can see how I can best help you then, Devon, because we don't. Looking back, I realized I made a mistake, yeah. But I'll I'll speak about it once more of the call plays.
Usually have set payment plan options. So like, would it be easier if we maybe looked at doing half today, half next month, or maybe half today and spread out the next half? Like, what do you feel would be like better for you? Because I'm just here to help as best as I can based on where you're at the moment.
Yeah, maybe like spread it over 3 or 4 months.
Okay, so we can maybe look at doing half today and then the balance will spread out over 3 months, for example. Would that work better within your budget? What are you saying?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. So, okay, awesome. And if that's the case, what we can do then, basically, let me just check. That will be basically $3,900 due today, and then the rest will be spread out over 3 months. Okay, so we can get that payment set up. We'll get you access, get everything on board, and get you rocking and rolling. So, how does that sound with you, Devin?
Can I still sleep on it for one night?
See, this was the mistake I made. Before I went into like prescribing payment plans to him, I didn't actually tie off the fear completely. Like I helped him see like there is going to be consequences if he holds on to the fear, but I never actually get his tie down that, if he does push through the fear. I mean, I never actually get his commitment to say, tell me if he's willing to push through the fear. And as you can see, he's not actually willing because he still wants to sleep on it. So mistake I made on my end, but I still close him. So we'll see how I manage to come back from that.
Or like, I don't know, it's just like that's a lot of money. I don't know. Again, it's the fear. Like
Exactly. And the same reason like you don't want to do it yet, Devin, is the exact same reason why you should do it, right? Because it's you having to step out your comfort zone, right? Because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're never truly going to see the growth you want to do. Right now, as a coach, I'm also challenging you to do something you otherwise would have not wanted to do, right? Because it's comfortable to sleep on it, put it off. But the thing is, the same decision we make where we come to sleep on it, the same decision we put it for a few more days, a week, a month, 10 months, for example, right? So what I want you to think of now, Devin, like, that 2.0 version of you we've been speaking about throughout this whole entire call, right? The one that is able to buy the house, right? Show his friend that he's more successful, give his girlfriend the life he truly desires and wants for her. Truly feel like you're living up to your full potential, Devin. If that version of you were here right now with me, Devin, what do you feel like he would do in this situation, knowing that this can help him get there?
Take the step and do it.
Why though? Instead of putting it off.
Instead of what, sorry?
I was just saying, like, why would he do it instead of putting it off?
I guess because he's seen the success or seen the outcome of it and knows that it works.
Because essentially, like, he wouldn't have seen that success if he didn't push through the fear, right? He would still be, mediocre. Obviously not bad, not dying, but not yet living the life he really wants. So for you, Devin, like, do you truly want to have that life and become that 2.0 version of yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, Devin, like, if that's really what you want, brother, what do you truly feel like you need to do here with me today to ensure that when your head is the pillow tonight, you've done everything in your power to actually become the man you want to be for you and your family?
Get started with it.
I know you wanting to do that.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. And you guys guarantee the money back thing, like.
Yeah, it's guaranteed, brother. It's guaranteed.
Have you had it?
This is literally the hardest part of the journey, right? This is where most people, make or break their life, these sorts of situations, right? But on the other side of this is you actually starting to see the success you truly want to live. Because, where most people are not willing to go is where the reward is, right? It's the same with the gym, right? Most people are not prepared to go to the gym. They're not prepared to put in the work. But then again, 90% of the people out there are not in shape, right? It's the exact same, right?
Yeah. Another thing that I was actually just thinking about is you talked about $3,900 a month. Is my e-transfer limit is only $3,000 a day.
Okay, is that Canadian or US dollars?
Canadian.
Okay, let me check something real quick for you.
So at this point, he was very fearful. He had a limit of 3,000. I was trying to get as much cash as I could up front, but I just decided to put him on like the lowest payment plan just to get the deal across the line because I knew he was ready to close, so I didn't want the finances to get in the way of him closing, especially because this was my first deal that I closed on the new offer too.
I can maybe get that changed on Monday through the bank. I'm not sure.
So 3,000 is your limit, you're saying?
Canadian.
Okay, 3,000 Canadian. Okay. How about I make it really simple for you then, Devin? How about instead of doing 3,900 upfront, we could just break down the total investment into 4 payments of 2,000 US dollars. So that will be 2,700 Canadian. Then we just get 2,000 today. We'll give you access to the program, get you access to everything, and then for the next, what would that be? For the next 4 months, it will just be 2,000 as well. How does that sound for you instead?
2,000 American.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds
Does that
good.
sound better? Okay. Awesome, man. So
quick question: what all do you need from me for this?
So in terms of like what we need from you to get started is literally, I'll send you over the link now in the Zoom chat. We'll process that first payment, and then from there, once that's processed, I'll get you set up with the next steps. You'll have access to the community, and you can get started as quick as today. So that's how that would work.
Okay. The only thing is I'm kind of starting to run out of time here. I have something going on here at 7:30. Would this be something better that we?
No, it'll take like maximum 5 minutes. This part of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So awesome. So how are you feeling though, Devin?
Good.
A bit nervous, but excited, or how are you feeling?
Definitely nervous.
Nervous. Okay, that's normal. I mean, what makes you willing to push through the nerves and do it either way?
So now I got the commitment that he's ready to get started. He's ready to proceed. So just before we go through payment, especially for this guy, he's very scared. I'm just making sure I ask again like how he's feeling. And as you can see, he said he's very nervous. So that I'm like normalizing it, asking, okay, why are you willing to push through the nerves and do this anyways? Like make it make sense for me one more time before we actually, close the deal. So once he does that, then I'm obviously going to take payment.
Well, just like looking into the future and seeing that successful part of me is like, that's the biggest thing.
Very, very, very proud of you today, Devin. I'm extremely happy and proud to help you with this, and I can't wait to see you crush it inside. Okay, so let's get you set up, brother. I'll drop you the link in the chat. Go ahead and click on it for me and let me know once it loads up.
There we go. $8,000 deal closed. Obviously, it would have been nice to get more cash up front, but he was in a different country. Like the offer's in US dollars, he's in Canada, so the exchange rate is a bit, weird for them. But got the deal done. 2,000 up front, 2,000 next month, and then spread out over 4 months. Yeah, that's some footage of me closing an $8,000 deal for someone that was very scared to do it. Someone that has been held back by fear in the past, but because of the conversation I was able to have with him, I helped him realize that there's no benefit holding on to this fear. And with the goals he wants to achieve, he needs to let go of the fear. And that's why I didn't let him get off the call without making a decision. Because that's just going to end up where he's been for the past year, which is not what he wants. And it's not it's not serving me, I'm not serving him if I can't help him get closer to where he wants to be in his life, right? So, good call in my opinion. The discovery was pretty good as well. Solid call. Felt very good. It always feels good for me helping someone like get out their own way, especially when it comes to fear. That's probably the most satisfying objection for me to overcome and close, because I know that I could be the one person that they need to help them actually make this decision. And if I don't help them do that, there may not ever be anyone else like me that can help them, push through those limitations they have in their own mind. So I'm glad I was able to, do that for this guy. And I know that now he's going to be in the best position to finally succeed and get to where he wants to be in his life. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for sticking around. As always, if you want to follow my journey a bit closer, make sure to follow me on social media. The links will be down below. And aside from that, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have an amazing day. Stay safe.